All right, now I'm gonna work these details out in real time. I've just got a theory moving into it. What I've done, I've got a 3/4 inch wall flange with a small fitting. I have, at the end, I'll have the pictures of all the dimensions. Just getting the length I need, but this is an adapter down to a 3/8. So it slides in and out because I'm gonna need access. I'm gonna have to have access to these fittings here later on for the actual main purpose of this. I'm just trying to design this so that you can do several things with it. What I've done, I've got a 24 inch by 12 inch piece. And I'm going to start trying to mold this into a head the best that I can right in there. So I'm gonna cut some links out. And then once I get it attached down here, I'm gonna start pulling this around. Might have to use some other scrap pieces to patch in. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna fold this in half. Ooh, hard on the fingers. Then I'm gonna cut 3 squares out each way, another 2 each out in. I'll show you. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I know what I want to do though. Center point would be 6 inches. So that's right there. So I'm gonna cut these 3 and these 3 out. Probably not gonna cut them all the way out. What was my measurement there? Six inches falls right on this line. If you can see what I'm doing here, I've got the head coming out, which I still have to make up the face, or I could even turn it this way. Do it this way and have a little more leeway. Anyhow, I'm gonna have that 3/8 pipe running all the way down past the neck so that I can line it up here, drop it on, and I'm gonna have a little sleeve coming down. I guess you call it a collar maybe, something coming to rest on. But yeah, I'll keep the face this way. That way it's got a more of a rounded feature, and then I'll start pulling these in, cutting where I need to, making some relief cuts, just get that bent and shaped around. That's all I'm gonna do. Okay, I test fit the mask and the hood over here, and I'm having a real problem with not having a chin area in here. So I'm gonna come back in and build out just a little nose cone piece where there's a chin and maybe even a forehead. Probably just chin, just needs a chin area. Yep, it's chinless. So that's part of making the ball. Like I said, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was figuring it out on the fly. And try not to invest way too much time in it, but trying to make a tutorial you can follow along to. Those sharp edges are snagging everything. I can't wait to get this done for the last time. All right, here we are this morning. I've got the head frame done up as much as I can. Yeah, just gonna start. I'm gonna start with a black pillowcase. Any kind of black fabric would work. This is something I had, I've never used. So I'm gonna lay it over with the black, because when I cut through the burlap I'm gonna do one-eye burlap, and then also do the Jason Voorhees mask over it. All this extra stuff's gonna get tied down and tied around in all at the same time here. I'm just wanting to come in and roughly cut the extras out. And then, because I'm gonna leave enough of this hanging so it definitely gets tucked up under the shirt, might as well just hit the center point and leave it hang. See how much extra we can have everywhere. But I have to pick where I want the eyeball. So there's roughly the eyeball, but I'm gonna cut it bigger than that. I'm gonna do a reference picture so I can see how it was cut out in the movie scene. I'll probably put that like right here. Different image while I was looking just for reference. So I'm gonna go ahead and do both eyes. That way I can use just the burlap sack, or with the mask, I can have a couple different characters out of it. I think it'll be all right. All right, what I've done here, and I'll bring you in close and get some better pictures. I've got two different ground clamps from the electrical section. One was for 3/4 inch and 1 inch, and I believe this other one was 2 1/4 inch. Inch and a quarter to inch and a half. Anyhow, okay, so it's bigger. But I don't really like the way it looks. I don't like the way things are hanging out. I've got this old work glove. So I'm going to, I've looked at a couple different things here. I think I'm just going to split it right up to the middle finger, just short of, and see if I can't wrap it up and around. Try to make it fit, make some slits other ways. Stitch it all back together when it's done. So these will just be seen from the road. Everything else I've done here, I built this little sharp tool, scratch out, anything, a little drill bit, a leather hole punch. Any of this stuff will work. Just punch a hole through. Same way right here. I want to put a little backer behind it. I did shove this thing through my thumb the other day. From there, I'm just going to get it in position. Take more of this tie wire. Tie wire is going to be your friend on this. Let me get a good angle here for you. I know I'm killing you. Just going to wrap it right around. Give it one twist so it won't go nowhere. That's all I'm doing. Getting this in position so it looks somewhat ergonomic. It's got to go up under the sleeve too. Right in there so it hangs and dangles, looks like a hand. All right, like an idiot, I forgot to hit record. I didn't like the way the hand was hanging, so I punched all the way through and then tied it back up to itself to pull that up at a little bit more of an angle there. And I really like the way it's hanging now. Might end up punching a hole coming in from here and hitting it with some expandofoam at some point. Some of the other hand that would really fill this one out, but I don't think I'm that worried about it. All right, now what I'm going to do here, it's time to pull this up and lay it down. But because these are threaded on the bottom, I've got, well, one's 10 inch, one's 12 inch. I would prefer, if you're buying them, buy both 12. This is what I've got left on hand from an old project. It's all rusted out. I'm going with it, it'll be fine. But I'm going to tighten these up so that they're out like this on each of them. And I'll put a stake in the ground for here and a stake in the ground here, because I'm going to have this tank. When I switch this over to Jack Skellington, it's going to have a propane tank out here with a skull, it's going to have this thing on it, which is heavy. The head up there itself is going to be heavy. So it's a real front heavy weight item. If I need to, I can turn one backwards if we end up with some back weight in the wind, but I'm pretty sure all the weight's going to be coming forward. So I'm just attaching these feet. I'm going to paint these black. So yeah, I would suggest to paint them black. I don't know if I'll get around to that or not.